Rob here from Media, and we're going to be talking about using padding and margins in Elementor, so stay tuned. At Media, we help companies to grow and thrive using the latest tools, tricks, and marketing techniques. From websites to online marketing, automated sales funnels, social media, and much more. We're always releasing new content on our YouTube channel, so make sure you click the like, subscribe, and notification button to make sure that you don't miss out. Just before we get going, I want to tell you about an exclusive offer we have on at the moment. We're giving away free access to our paid Hub platform to the first 50 people that click the link in the description. We're going to be putting this link in the description of all of our videos, so make sure that you get in there as quick as you can. Within Hub we have created over 100 training videos in 13 courses, including a course on how to build a website using Elementor. You'll also find recorded webinars and a host of other free content, so remember to click the link in the description. Let's get on with the video. Hello, in this video I'm going to teach you about padding and margins. These are two vital parts to web design that will be essential if you want to make your designs look tidy. I will be honest with you, this will come across as a little complex to begin with, but with some visual aids to help you along with practice, you'll get the hang of it. This is likely to be as complex as it gets. We're going to have a look at what padding and margin settings are, why you would need to use them, and of course we'll show you where to set padding and margin values on your elements, columns, and sections. So every element you'll be using in Elementor, plus sections and columns, will have settings for padding and margins. They will also have a border. Even if you can't see it, the border will be there. You can usually make the border visible by going to the styling settings of your elements, columns, and sections. Here is our element. This could be an image, a block of text, a video, or even a column. Padding is the space between your element and its border. There are padding options on the left, right, top, and bottom of your elements. We can apply the same padding all the way around our elements, or have different values in each position. For example, you could have 0 pixels padding in the left, right, and bottom, but a value of 50 pixels on the top. Padding is how far away your element is from its border. And remember, the border is there even if you can't see it. The margin is the area around your element but outside of your border. Again, there is a left, right, bottom and top margin, and you can either have these values equal or have different values depending on how you want to design your page. The margin is how far away the element is to another element. So let's look at some more practical examples of padding and margins. I've got here a section with 2 columns. In this left column, I've given a purple background to it, and I've also styled the border so that we can see that. I've also got an image inside this column, which I have also given a border, a thin white border, and this is where we're going to start. To demonstrate padding, I'm going to go to the edit image icon here, click that, and in advanced, I'm just going to increase the padding all the way around. Because our chain icon here is grey, all the values will increase at the same time. If I click on this, we can individually increase values. Let's link those back together and increase our padding. And as you can see, the padding is the area around our content or element, in this case image, but inside our border. Now if I increase the margin, we can see that this is the area outside of the border, and it's clearly outlined by the edge of the element here in this thin blue line. Let's remove the margin there. And now we'll go to the column settings and increase the padding here, and we can see how this affects what we've got. So when I increase this, I've got padding of 10% around here. We can see that the content area is now this entire area here, including the image, its padding, and its margins. And as we increase this, we push it away from the column border. Now, have a think a moment. When I increase the margin here, what do you think will happen? So let's increase the margin. And if that's what you imagined, then well done. But don't worry, if you didn't get it, we're going to go over this a couple of times. But we can see that the area outside the columns border has grown and it's pushed it away from the other column. So I'm going to remove the margins there. And now we're going to look at the right column. Inside this right column, I have given it an orange background. I haven't given it a border. However, the border is still there technically. If this was a real life scenario, I would like the text and the heading to have more area around it, some more white space around it. And when I say white space, I don't mean actual white space. It just refers to an area that is empty. So clicking the edit column settings here, and we're going to go over to advanced on the left here, and we're going to increase the padding all the way around. And as you can see, this gives us a really nice area around our text. So let's have a look at what we can do with the margins of this column. So I'm going to increase the margins on the left here, and you can see that the area outside of the border, which of course you can't see the border, but it is there, is increasing. Let's increase that a little bit more. And now for the sake of styling this, making it look a little bit more presentable, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this column over to the left. And to do this, I can go to the chain here, unlink the values, and in the left margin option, I'm going to decrease this to the point of minus, which brings it over into the other column. So if I now just hide this panel, we can see that we have something that is a little bit more presentable than just two columns side by side. So padding is a great way of creating space around your elements and tidying your content. And margins are almost a way of moving those elements around and positioning them. So let's look at some more realistic examples. If I scroll down, we've got here 3 uniform blocks. And underneath, we have identical blocks. However, these don't have the padding and margin options that these blocks have here. So what we're going to do is we're going to create these blocks. So in our column here, I'm going to click edit column, and in the advanced settings, I'm going to increase the padding to 55 pixels all the way around. And we can already see that this is starting to resemble the box above. This is also increased the height of the intersection that these columns are in. So we can see that these are starting to take form as well, but of course we don't have padding around this content. So we're going to go to the column settings here, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to advanced, increase the padding to 55 pixels, and we're going to do the same again to this column. There we go. So the one thing we're missing now then is really this space around our columns, and we're going to change this using the margins, because the margins will push away the content from other areas of content. So we're going to go to the column settings here. We've got margin, and we're going to increase this to 5. So I'm really happy that this box looks exactly like this one. And I could go and increase the margins on this one and this one individually. But what I can also do is I can right click, go to copy, then go to my next column, right click, and paste style. And we can do that to the next one as well. That's just a really good, useful way of making the process quicker. However, I do recommend that you get used to going into the advanced options of elements and columns and sections and adjusting padding and margin yourself. But that is a quick sort of workaround. Let's look at a final example then of how we can use padding and margins to make elements on our page or features on our page look better. So we've got a contact form here. It looks quite smart. This is the same contact form, but with no padding or margins. So the first thing I notice is that we've got this nice space above and below our contact form. So for this, I need the section settings, which are these 6 dots in the blue tab. I'm going to click that. And on the left here in advanced, we've got our padding options. I don't want to mess around with the padding on the left and right because I can already see that that looks fine. That's what we want. We just want to do the top and bottom. So I've unlinked the values. And in the top, I'm just going to enter 100 pixels. And I'm going to do the same for the bottom. So as we can see, we've got that nice area above and below our contact form. So the next thing I've noticed is that there's a lot of space around our content here, including our heading and our form, not just our form. So that must be the padding on our column. So we're going to go to the column settings, go to advanced, and in padding, we're going to increase this to 100 pixels. Lastly, I've noticed that there's some space underneath this heading, just pushes it away from the form a little bit and looks tidy. So I'm going to go to the settings of this heading in advanced, and underneath at the bottom I'm going to unlink these values, and in the bottom I'm going to put 50 pixels. And there we go, we have a nice tidy contact form. So those are some sort of real life examples for you. I hope that helps you to understand how padding and margin works and why you might use them. Of course, I don't expect you to completely understand it straight away. This is something that does take a bit of time, and as you build your own website and practice, you will get the hang of it. So that's it for padding and margins then. There's a link in the description of this video which will give you a padding and margin sheet to look at to help you refer to. I'd also recommend loading some Elementor templates and taking a look at the padding and margin settings that they've used. And of course, when you've finished your work, don't forget to hit the green update button, and we will see you in the next video.